Hello everyone, my name is Ebby Matthews. I'll be explaining problem 9.4 from our textbook, The Economics of Health and Medical Care. So the four objectives that we want to go over is defining what the Herfindahl-Hirschman index is, understanding the steps to calculate the Herfindahl-Hirschman index, applying the formula to both the two hospital markets, and interpreting what it tells us about market concentration. So understanding what this model is. So the HHI is a measure of market concentration. It calculates by taking each firm or hospital's market share, squaring that share, and then adding it all the squared values together. We have the formula listed below. The SI stands for each hospital share of the total patient days. The closer the Herfindahl-Hirschman index is to 1, the more monopolized the market is. And if it's closer to 0, that means that there are many hospitals competing. So this is the listed problem above. So one of the first things that we would like to do when we approach this problem is we would add up all the total patient days for each of the cities. So we'll start out with city 1, where it's we have hospitals A through F. We'd add each of the patient days together, and you do the same for city 2 and adding up the total patient days. The slide next will present that info. So we have 700 total patient days for city 1 and 600 for city 2. This gives us the total market size that we'll use for the calculating each hospital's market share in the next step. So next what we're going to do is calculating the market share. So what we would do is dividing the hospital patient days to the city total. So, for example, hospital A, we have 30 total hospital patient days, and we divide it by the city total, which we get 0.0429. And we do that for each of the hospitals in both cities. The next step would be squaring each share. So, following along with the formula, squaring makes the large hospitals count more heavily in the total since they have greater market power. For instance, City 1's largest hospital, C, has a share of 0.3143, and once you square it, it becomes 0.09878. Next step is adding the squared shares. So when we add up all the squared shares together, we get city 1 at 0.221 and city 2's at 0.172. Now, understanding the market type. So the HHI scale helps categorize markets. So below 0.18 equals unconcentrated, meaning lots of competition. Between 0.018 and 0.025 is moderately concentrated, and above 0.025 is highly concentrated. So interpreting the results, for city 1 we have 0.0221, and for city 2 we have 0.0172. So what does this mean in healthcare terms? City 1's hospitals are more dominant. Fewer hospitals control most patient days, which can give them pricing power and influence over the market. City 2, however, has a more even distribution, meaning greater competition, more patient choice, and potentially better cost control. In healthcare economics, this helps regulators and policymakers decide when to allow or block mergers that could harm competition. And these are my references. Thank you.